This is the third installment of the Lionel warranty video, and this is turning out to be more of a tech video than my journey with Lionel and their warranty. What I have found out is that the tender, I had, I'm gonna take the responsibility here and say it was my fault, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But anyway, the tender truck piece here was actually a little bit bent down, and just in testing it, I actually pushed it up a little bit. That wasn't my intent, but it happened. So the piece is pretty fragile. And I've run the train around the track about 6 times, and the performance definitely improved. However, there was at the end there just a little bit of miscommunication between my remote and the engine. And as you can see, it's still somewhat misaligned. What I was thinking also is that at first maybe I should take this piece of the engine and bend it in this way so it would have a, I can't really see, have a, this kind of effect to maybe keep that down, but I don't know if that would help, to be honest, and I really don't want to be bending things. But what I think will help is that I take this piece and put some type of washer in here to bring this down a little more level with this, so the IR sensor can talk without any kind of interruption. I was also thinking I made this piece and I was going to put it maybe with a rubber band on the tender to kind of push this piece here down, if I could get that in there, kind of like that, to test my theory. But again, that's a modification that I don't really want to do. And as you can see, if this were maybe down possibly an eighth, I think a quarter would be too much. Anyway, this IR sensor will talk to this one, and there won't be any interruption, because there is a hole in this piece, and that's for these two pieces to talk. And this misalignment, I'm pretty sure, is my problem. By bending this, like I said earlier, it did improve the performance. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stop the camera, work on that, hopefully find something that I could put in between here. Hopefully those screws are long enough to hold it and bring this piece down. Okay, so I had to take those 3 pieces off in order to get to the sensor where I could get a screwdriver on it. Let's see here, on that side right there. So removed a screw here, which was for that, and then the C little washer there, clamp, loosened that up, and then that's just a washer that was sitting here on top of this piece right here. So anyway, so that will give me access to that. I will put some type of, I think I have a rubber piece that might work, and that will give me some flexibility. Anyway, so that's what I had to do so far. We'll see if my theory here works. In taking the sensor apart, these are the 2 screws that were holding everything together. So they're going to be long enough to put the sensor back together and hopefully hold a piece of scrap plastic above it. Not happy that this came apart, but it did afford me the opportunity to kind of put a template for my scrap piece of plastic. So I'm going to cut that out and put everything back together and see if this solves the problem. Okay, so that's my piece I manufactured with the help of a rotary tool, and it is a little bit longer, and I actually intended for it just to be about an 1/8 of an inch or maybe a 1/16 of an inch longer, just in case I needed well, just in case I needed something. So anyway, let's put it back together and see what happens. Okay, so it's back on the tracks and got around 10 times before there was a problem, but there is still a problem. Turn this down. I do have communication. So, but there is still a problem. Because now this bar here has a round circle in it, and then the bottom is blocking the sensor again. So the next thing I'm going to try is to bend this bar down and take that spacer out again to see if that can line up the sensors, because this is just way off. Okay, it's back together now. I've run it around the track about 10 times. No problem whatsoever. This may need to be adjusted a little bit. Maybe it's like this, and I might need to like bend it out like that. But I think, and only time will tell, that I'm pretty sure this was the problem. So, I hope this was helpful. Again, never should have had to encounter this. The bar, I forget what it's called, I think it's called the tow bar, is pretty easy to bend. It didn't take much to bend it into this position. So maybe if that was better quality, maybe a little hardened steel, I think maybe what happened is that in putting it together or putting it in the box, this may have been bent. But if it had been a little stiffer metal, it probably wouldn't have gotten bent. Anyway, if you have this problem, I hope this was helpful. I hope this solves your problem. And thanks for watching.